Hey, welcome to this month's market update. We are now past the elections and moving forward to what traditionally is an up real estate market. Traditionally, past the last, I think it was 8 of the last, I think 11 elections, prices and things increased and got a lot more activity. So I want to share with you a couple things here today. Number one, what is the 2025 housing market forecast and with mortgage rates, total home sales, and home prices look like? And so that was going to be what we're going to talk about. So let's start with mortgage rates first. Let's listen to senior economics and from Realtor.com, Ralph McLaughlin. We expect the economy to land softly and housing inventory to continue to recover. This should put downward pressure on mortgage rates this fall and winter and will set the stage for a much better season for home buyers in 2025. Now, I personally feel that there's been some really, really good opportunities out there currently right now that are out there for sale from sellers who have a lot of equity in their property, who have moved out of state, have 2 houses, and they are lowering their property quite drastically. And there's some great steals out there. But so some people grab those, and some people are still kind of waiting for maybe the interest rate to go down a little further. Fed interest rates cuts in general will bring about lower mortgage rates, which is a definite boost in the housing market, but it won't happen overnight, which is really interesting because if you see that the last time the Feds met and they actually lowered the rate, mortgage rates actually went up. So hopefully in the next week or so when they meet again, they're projected to lower that 0.5%, and that will might help go the other direction. So if you look at the 2025 mortgage rate projections, they are looking at the quarters here. Quarter 1, 2025, around the Fannie Mae, they're thinking it's going to be about 5.98, which is great because right now we're like in the 6.2 to 6.7 is kind of where we're at right now in the existing rate at this moment here in November. So if we can get anywhere in this quarter 1 and then see them come down to 5.87, 5.7, so this is what they're kind of feeling that they would be on in the Wells Fargo and Fannie Mae. And so if we can have an average of 5.6, 5.8, you can see there it's a downward trend. If we could get to this and stick kind of near this normalcy, that would be amazing to have that as a consistent interest rates in the 5s, because I'm going to show you a couple slides. Because mortgage rates projections, the 30-year fixed rate, the actual Fannie Mae, and then this, as you can see, they all went up in 2021, but you can see we're projecting and we are going down. So that is a good sign for the interest rates. Lower financing costs will likely boost demand by pulling affordability crunch buyers off of the sidelines. And I totally agree with that. I have so many buyers that are letting me know, Eric, I just kind of want to wait, kind of see past the elections, kind of see what transpires, what the country's going to be doing, and also what interest rates will be being affected by that. So, but yeah, those people who bought in the 7% interest rate, even 7.5 several months ago, they obviously have refinanced, and those people that bought in the when it was 6.2, they're kind of happy right now, and they're kind of holding, and they have a house and a roof over their head and controlling their destiny, which is great. So, but these are 2 fascinating slides right here. More than half of the homeowners would be motivated to buy with rates under 6%. This is a huge study that went out on bank rate. It was the source of this. So if rates were less than 6, there'd be 52% of people that would be interested in that. And then you can see the number here, rates less than 4, rates less than 3, but they would kind of buying a home this year, which is a fascinating slide to kind of look at. And then I thought it was interesting too on the motivated for a seller, because there's no rate that would make me comfortable. So these sellers right here, these must be the people who are, let's just say, own their house free and clear, and they're probably just hanging out and probably don't have an interest rate on that. So you can see here that when the interest rates are going lower, there's a good, when they get less than 6%, there's a good 35% of them would say, you know what, I think it's comfortable for me to move because it might price me in, and my payment and things might be more affordable. So I thought those were 2 great slides too. All right, let's talk about total home sales. You got total home sales forecast to rise. Right now, we're on current pace to sell about 4.7 million in that 2024. So you can see that this is a lot more houses in the nation. When we were close to this, you could see why there's not as many houses selling, over that huge peak that we had in 2021. But now we're getting kind of back to kind of some normalcy there. But you can see that projected for 2025, it's a huge jump. So if we could get to 5.5 million home sales throughout the nation, that would be obviously, that's nice that they're actually projecting that for us as well. So you can see that the total home sales forecast in the millions, and this is what they're kind of all thinking in National Associated Realtors, but everybody else here, average Fannie Mae, NBA, they're all kind of thinking they're about at 5.4 is their average. So waiting until next spring or summer should also drive or give you more inventory to choose from, but you're likely to be against greater competition since it's the peak buying season. Totally true. I feel that if you can get, if you're interested in buying a home right now and you go in, there's less competition. There's good inventory out there, and inventory has been rising, but there's great choices for people, and you're not having to compete. Even though the last two offers we wrote just happen to have some multiple offer situations on them, but I think that's more not the norm. I think that when you go in to put an offer on something right now, you can negotiate with the seller, get a better deal that's comfortable for you with your payment, with your down payment, and with your lender, and feel comfortable going into home ownership. All right, so let's talk about home prices. As you can see, 2025 home prices forecast. Now, this is what they're feeling, that the average here is about 2.6. So Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, they think we're going to have appreciation in the 4.4s, but you can see some other people, Freddie Mac and Moody's, they think it's going to be less. So just take an average of those people that were 2.6% on the average of appreciation coming up this upcoming year. Even if the average national home price forecast for 2025 is correct, it's possible that some regional housing markets could see mild home price declines, while some other markets could still see elevated appreciation. That has been, after all, this is a case by year. So keep that in mind, that there are certain locations, even in Nevada County, Placer County, there are certain areas and little towns, little sections that, some of them got, there's a lot of inventory on there. So the supply demand is going to affect that for you as well. All right, so Selma Hepp from Chief Economist on CoreLogic says currently economic projections for 2025 are also positive, which points to a positive outlook for the housing market. So all looking really good, guys. Looking good for the housing market, looking good for buyers and sellers. If that interest rate kind of comes down a little bit more, I think that's going to elevate more excitement and get more people into home ownership and sellers moving to where they want to be. All right, guys, if you have any additional questions or would like to connect, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll talk soon. Take care.